Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Fit by J.Lee. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna do an at-home pizza night. Today is a little bit more of an insight on how to make an easy at-home recipe for a little bit less cost, but still getting great flavor, and how to kind of like make things your own. It's a lot more fun this way too, and I'm very excited to share it with you. Let's get into our ingredients for today. We're gonna be making a winter pizza. I've actually featured this recipe on my Instagram before. It's this fall pizza that I made with broccoli, butternut squash, and last time I put mushrooms on it, but because Kaylee is with me today, being the lovely little goddess that she is, we are not gonna put mushrooms on it because she doesn't really like them. I'm also gonna add a little goat cheese onto the topping to give it a little bit extra kick, and we're using a gluten-free crust. So I'm gonna do a few pizzas on this channel with different crusts. I have to eat gluten-free because I have a little bit of a gluten intolerance. I try to avoid it, and there's also a lot of people who have celiac, so you don't have to use this crust, but this is what we're gonna be using today. So today we picked Trader Joe's cauliflower crust. We've got butternut squash zigzags, so again, Trader Joe's. And then for broccoli, I actually picked up frozen broccoli. There is no difference in nutrition between fresh and frozen, because usually frozen vegetables, frozen fruit is picked when it's at its ripest and then frozen right away. So it doesn't lose any nutritional value in the process of freezing. So I haven't talked about this before, but I have a tomato allergy, so I cannot have tomatoes or any kind of nightshades, which would include peppers, eggplants, and of course tomatoes. Because I can't have tomatoes, it means I can't have tomato sauce on my pizza, otherwise it'll be real bad. But I've got a vegan kale cashew basil pesto from Trader Joe's. I picked this up as a base. I use this in a lot of sauces, or I use this as pizza base a lot. And then for cheese, this is a new Trader Joe's. Do you think I like Trader Joe's? I think I do. This is a new Trader Joe's that we picked up last time that we made this, and it's seasoned already. So it's got like some oregano in there, some garlic. So it's like already seasoned for you, which is great because it adds that extra little flavor that just putting regular mozzarella cheese on really doesn't do. As I mentioned before, we're gonna add a little crumbled goat cheese onto the top as well. Now, for our complementing cocktail this evening, I'm actually doing a alcohol-free month more. I just feel kind of like doing it. I'm a very intuitive eater, so if my body tells me it doesn't want something, then I just don't eat it. We're gonna have a nice sparkling apple pomegranate beverage. It'll be like a little mocktail. And I picked the pomegranate because pomegranate and fall flavors go really well together. Pomegranate is a nice winter fruit. So let's go ahead and get started on this recipe. Putting it in champagne glasses because we fancy as fuck. See, you're getting some use. You're fine. She's just so sad. Oh my God. Oh. Are we sure this isn't champagne? All right, here's our drinks. Cheers. That's actually not bad. I kind of like it. All right, so first I'm gonna cook up this butternut squash. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 375. I need my olive oil, and I need some cracked black pepper. The reason I'm not using salt is because since we have a lot of packaged things today, they probably have a little bit of sodium added to them, so I'm not gonna add it to anything else. Easy breezy. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on here, coat it, and we're gonna put some cracked black pepper on here. So once you got that all kind of like mixed together, push it so that it's one layer and maybe they're not like on top of each other. So we'll wait for the oven to heat up, and then we'll go ahead and pop those in for about 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe flip them or toss them around halfway through, and then we'll be on to pizza. Butternut squash zigs are all cooked. I'm just gonna take these off and put them into a separate bowl. Okay, so the other thing that I did was up the heat on the oven to 450 from the 375 that we used to cook the butternut squash. And then once I hear that timer, I'll grab the crust from the freezer and heat it as directed. Now this particular crust, you have to flip it halfway through its heating time. So we're gonna put it upside down with the bottom facing up for the first half, and then we'll flip it for the face up so that then we can top it for those last 5 minutes and then heat everything up. All right, so we just steamed this in the microwave. 1 minute left for this crust before we deck it out and make it delicious. We'll pop it in for 7 more minutes to get that cheese nice and bubbly and crusty. And then we'll be eating our lovely fall pizza. All right, there we go. And you can see the edges are nice and crispy already, which is perfection. So first we're just gonna put a nice little light layer of the pesto on there. I say go light because you can always add more. I just like to leave a little bit for the hand to hold. Then we're gonna add our cheese, so the shredded Toscano. I'm not gonna do the whole bag, I'm just gonna like sprinkle it on at first. Again, go light, you can always add more. Okay, and because we're also adding the goat cheese on here, I don't wanna add too much. Now we're gonna add our butternut squash. I'm not gonna add all the butternut squash, I'm just gonna add like whatever I feel, maybe get a nice layer in there. And that's the fun thing is when you make pizza yourself, extra toppings don't cost you extra. And I forgot that we gotta leave room for broccoli. Little florets here and there. And last but not least, humble on some goat cheese. You gotta be very careful because your pan's hot. Now, we're gonna put this back in the oven for 7 minutes, and then we'll come back and slice her up. Hey, here she is, sizzling. We're gonna let her cool for a second, and then we'll cut her up and serve her to us. So we have our pizza, we've got our little mocktail juice situation. Cheers. Love it. We're gonna try the pizza. I'm very excited.
First time ever.
First time ever. Just kidding. No, we have this a lot. So good. So good. The cauliflower crust doesn't have a lot of flavor, so it's fun that the cheese, the pesto, the goat cheese, like all has a lot of strong flavor. And I don't mind that it's gluten-free.
I mean, I
And
don't care.
it's cauliflower. The best thing about this is maybe if you ordered a very similar pizza, like a gourmet pizza like this, it would probably be between like $25 to $30, at least in LA, for a small pizza like this. But because you made it at home, or we made it at home, I think all these ingredients together maybe cost like $10 or $12. Definitely a great way to take a night out at home, save a buck or two, and still get a delicious meal. If you try this recipe, go ahead and drop a little pizza emoji down in the comments. Let us know how it came out. And thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode. Cheers.